we go. Let me just get the link, put it in, make sure audio is all good. Yeah, audio is all good. Where's live trading streams? Here we go. Hope everyone's doing well. I'm just putting the message in the chat that I am live. Where is it? Here we go. There we go. Perfect. Hello, hello, hello. How is everyone? As I go live, we have a lovely wick. 1 second, let me make sure this is all good. Make sure I can see everyone's. Hello, Lady H. Hello, hello, hello. How is everyone? How is everyone doing today? Hope everyone's all good. To those who are new to the live, welcome. On the live, we tend to have a quick catch up to begin with, just see how everyone's doing. And then from there, get into the charts, mark them up. 1 second, let me just do this. Can I have a water, please? Thank you. Hello, Leanne. Hello, Aaron. Hello, Alex. Hello, DB. Garen. Hello, hello, hello. Evening, family traders. Hello, Lee. Hello, Edward. Thank you. Hello, Drew. Huge wick down just then. I literally started the live. For some reason, whenever I click start live, there's always like there's always an instant big move. I don't know what goes on, but yeah. Hello, Trading Charles. Hello, Petrol. Hello, hello, hello. How is everyone doing? How is everyone? Hello, John. Hello, Peter, Darren. Garen, market mover. I love that, Garen. 1 second, guys. Let me move this over here. There we go. Perfect. How is everyone doing? Garen, smashing it as well, mate. Really, really, really nice. Really, really, really amazing progress from you, Garen. But yeah, let me know how your day was at the charts today, guys. I think it was a pretty interesting price action, but pretty good. It's Peter, ignore the rest. Okay. Hello, Peter. But yeah, last night's live, we did have crazy move up from that level, by the way. This level here, this exact plan was given last night. And then, obviously, from there, we can see it absolutely boomed up from that level. Insanely big move. And then I was looking for a buy position from this level here, which would have been nice, but we didn't come down to that, unfortunately. But we did get into a sell up here, which I gave in the private group, which was really nice. Literally pit perfect, pretty much. Really, really, really nice, clean setup there. So that was good. And we'll see what we can come up with as a plan for sort of tomorrow. Let's zoom out a bit. Don't want to be stuck on the 1 minute. There's definitely some more interesting price action on higher time frames right now. Hello, Geordie. Hope you're doing well as well, mate. Drew, Max, I'll send an update in the challenge account. It's been 2 months today. Nice, Drew. Yeah, definitely do. Look forward to seeing it, mate. James, that's Geordie Trades, absolute legend. Hello, like always. Hello, hello, hello. How is everyone doing? How's your day been? Let me know how your day's been at the charts. Let me know what you've got up to. If it's been a good day, if it's been a bad day, let me know. And then we'll get into the charts, come up with a plan for tomorrow. Nice plan. And just answer questions along the way. So if you do have any questions along the way, regardless if they're beginner, intermediate, advanced, whatever they may be, let me know and I'll happily go into detail on them. I'm back at trading again. I'm going to uni this September and was thinking of aiming for 6% weekly for 3 years, but I'm obviously expecting losses. 6% weekly is extremely good, Peter, though. Like, keeping in mind, 6% weekly is, like, very, 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 very good. I mean, look, aim high, aim for the stars, hit the moon. That is very, very high, though. Very nice, Geordie. Yes, Alex, towards the end of this month, mate. Oh, all good, Chris, though. You learn a lot from that. I'm actually really enjoying watching the trend hit support and resistance. Appreciate your help. Nice, Jono. Love that. Love that. And then, like, I mean, I said on last night's live, and then I did put a message in the private group regarding the VWAP. I mean, the VWAP has been so strong lately. I mean, it's just been, if we look today, just today alone, we can see how the VWAP has just perfect there, perfect there, perfect there, perfect there, huge volume, perfect retest, huge volume, chances are a nice retest again coming in soon. Like, super nice, super nice. I really do like using the VWAP. Yeah, Peter, 6% is a lot though. Like, to make 6%, I mean, that non-compounded monthly is 24% a month, which outperforms near enough every hedge fund. Like, yeah, it's very, 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 very good. The best hedge fund in history, the Renaissance Fund, that does like has done like 4.44% monthly, for like however many years, and that's like literally the best ever. So just keeping in mind, those are extremely good returns. Doing over 20% a month is extremely good. So we all had a good day. We did, Alan. How about yourself? This hit perfectly. How about yourself, Alan? How was your day? Some huge volatility now. We'll come with a nice plan. Definitely some nice levels I'm seeing here. Did form a nice double bottom, but I'm eyeing up this high here. A retest of that could be very nice. I mean, we're really struggling past this this upper extremity of this channel here as well. So that should be something nice to look into as well. And then we'll remark up this level as well, as this will have changed now. Come on. Love that, Geordie. Okay, yeah, we can see how this has changed. Definitely some nice levels to be marked up tonight. DB, that level will be changing now just because we've took out this high. And then also the point of control's changed, and like everything's sort of changed. So want to come up with a new plan and sort of readjust everything. One trade, £26 profit. Nice, Alan. Really, really nice. That's really, really good. So yeah, let me know how your day was, guys. Let me know if it was a good day, bad day, and we'll answer some questions, and then we'll get into the charts. Come up with a plan for tomorrow. Answer any questions along the way, and yeah, but yeah, really nice sell position today. Really nice, like yeah, pit perfect, which was really, really good to see. Definitely need to drink some water. There we go. Okay. Let's get into these charts then. So I'm going to start off on the 30-minute. I do like to have mainly use sort of 3 different types of time frames. So higher time frame, which is like the 1 hour/4 hour. That's where you gauge your environment, see what's going on the higher time frame. It's very, very important to zoom out occasionally. Very, very important. And then there's my midterm time frame. That's where I look for my setups. That's where I mark my levels. And then lower time frame, which is like the 1 minute, 3 minute, 5 minute. That's where I look for execution. So that's where I look for confirmations and execute to get into trades. So let's take a look at what we've got going on here. So we've just had a huge bounce there. So likely we'll take out this high, which is a bit annoying actually, but it's fine. I'm hoping we won't, but it's all good. Let's stick on the 0.786, 0.886, see if that lines up with anything. Not particularly. I think the golden pocket will line up with this value area low. Okay, that's perfect. Really nice. Yeah, booming up now. And then let's also see if we've got anything else there. Okay, we do have daily open from today, so that's nice. So we've got daily open plus golden pocket plus value area low. And then we do have some previous lows there as well, but not the nicest. So we'll just keep that on. Just below the 4600 psychological level as well, which is nice to see. 4600 has been so strong. I mean, we'd hit it directly today, literally to the wick. I did say about it being a big psychological level as well, just literally, and then straight after it was hit, which was pretty cool. Okay, let's move this a bit in there. Lamina, I've been following him, but seems to be waffling. Let me know if you've got any questions, mate. I'll happily answer everything. Keep everything transparent, so let me know. If you know, hello, Katie. But yeah, let me know if you've got any questions, Lama, and I'll happily answer. How big? What do you mean? What do you mean, Geordie? Hello, Andy. Hello. Lama, join. You won't regret it. Max is a stud. Appreciate that. Lama, definitely not. So we run one of the biggest trading communities in the UK right now. We've had, in-person events and everything like that. I do go live every night from Sunday to Thursday, and you can see in the chat the feedback is absolutely phenomenal. And then from there, we've got, educators in the group as well who are also providing help and guidance. We've got a really, really diverse community, which is amazing. And again, happily answer any questions. What was the biggest challenge with your trading partner? What do you mean trading partner? He's big on the chit. I appreciate that, Lady H. Good TikToks as well. Geordie, your TikTok was, I don't think I'm ever going to forget that. The flamethrower was pretty interesting. Hello, Lewis. Hello. Must be enjoying his weekend. I go live on those days because I want to come up with a plan for the next day, and obviously going live on a Friday, nothing happens on a Saturday. I did go live pretty much every day in December doing the bootcamp live as well. So yeah. It can mean a lot of different things, Llama. Nearly a bank there. What do you mean, Jordan? He's the goat. Appreciate that. How are we doing? I'm looking to put some limit orders during Asia session. Any advice, please? I'd be careful setting limits because you want to see confirmations as you approach the level. And what's your sort of thesis behind those limit orders? What are you looking for? Definitely Asia recently has been huge sloping moves. I did say this morning Asia's been sort of sloping. London's very rangy, and then New York has been normally an impulse move, but either direction's very 50-50. Yeah, this is gold. Hello, Greg. Harry. But yeah, let's continue. So we do have daily open, golden pocket, value area low. So daily open is the price that we open the day at. So obviously it's going to be quite an important level. Golden pocket shows a 61.8% retracement in price, and that's where basically it would be, if we anticipate the trend to continue, it'd be like a statistical anomaly for us to continue past that level. And then value area low, if we come below that area, then most of the trading activity does happen between the value area high and the value area low. So when we step outside the value area high, we step outside the value area low, that's considered again a statistical anomaly, so it plays in our favor for us to bounce off that level and continue into the value area. Exact same reason why I gave this sell inside the private group here, because back then that was actually the value area high. So us being above the value area high, we can anticipate us falling back into the value area. So yeah, same sort of thesis as this sell position here, but this one did have the breakout of this low as well to go along with it. Llama wants to troll. Let us know any questions. Made 40 quid to 2k from you. Yeah, Peter, I do actually. I've got you saved on Telegram. I do. You were recently in Dubai, weren't you? Oh, is that someone else? Oh shit. Because there was someone else who was, I think his name was Simon actually. I think it was Simon who turned £500 into like 50k, and he was recently in Dubai, which was good to see. But yeah, okay, let's continue. So 15-minute time frame. Going to zoom in a bit. So start off on the 30-minute, and then we'll zoom in here. Going to take it from this high to this low, to this high, golden pocket lines up with the point of control. Point of control is where the most volume was transacted during this range. So obviously it's going to be a quite strong level there. Mo disguise. Okay. Boom. Okay, that's a nice level there as well. The problem is, it's a bit risky entering at the point of control because, again, that's direct center of the value area. Unless something's very, very, very strong at the point of control, I'm always hesitant. I much prefer to get into trades at the value area high or the value area low. Point of control, I'm always a bit hesitant of. So just keeping that in mind as well. I don't know what I don't know what's going on in the chat. But again, guys, if you do have any questions regarding what I'm doing in the charts, regarding trading in general, just let me know and I'll happily go into detail on them. Let's zoom in a bit, see what else. There's not much else here, to be fair. I don't really want to mark up any more than this. I really like these two levels, and anything in between these, I don't want to get involved in. We can see how we've had sloping moves between these two levels. There's not much liquidity, not much orders in between these two levels here. So I don't really want to get in between this and this area here. And then exactly the same with this area here and this area here. And plus I'm very hesitant on sells anyway. I was surprised I entered that sell today, but the confirmations were really, really nice. Why is my value area low? Why is my value area high and value area low? Point of control different to yours. Jordan, probably different price data. So I use Wanda's price data or Vantage's price data. You're probably using a different price data at the charts, and you may have pulled yours from a slightly different point. If you want, just drop me a screenshot of your chart either in the Discord and at me, or message it me on Telegram, and I'll happily see what it is and get it lined up with mine. Do you still love Pepe's? I do. It's not as good in Dubai, definitely not. The chicken isn't as good in Dubai, in my opinion, in most places. So I don't really get it too often in Dubai, but when I was back in the UK over Christmas, I did get a lot of Chinese, a lot of curry, and a lot of Pepe's. Appreciate that, Mike. So, Neil, I look for where price is consolidating, where price is ranging to pull my fixed volume range profile over. And we can normally anticipate this because after every impulse move in the market, there normally is some form of consolidation. You shouldn't trade like markets can't go up forever because they can go up a lot more than you think. But after every impulse move, there normally is some form of consolidation. So beginning to put your fixed volume range over that consolidation is really good. But from a very, very, very basic standpoint, just looking for sideways price action at your charts, looking for price going sideways, and then pulling your fixed volume range over that is the easiest way to do it. So for example, we can see here price is overall, it's trending up a bit, but mainly going sideways. So putting the fixed volume range profile over this area is definitely the way to go. VWAP is volume weighted average price. So it's similar-ish. I think a lot of people are familiar with EMAs, exponential moving averages. That averages the last however many periods you choose, however many candles you choose, the last however many candles you choose price, and puts more emphasis on the most recent price action. That's why it's exponential. So it moves quickly near the end because it puts more emphasis on the newest candles. And that's a form of dynamic support and resistance, so it moves around. VWAP is also a form of dynamic support and resistance, but instead of putting weight on where the candle closes, it puts weight on volume. So it's obviously really, really good. We want to trade where the volume is, and it resets at the start of each day. So we can see, if you look back on the chart, you can see it sort of jumps. It sort of jumps to price. And when it does jump to price, this is it resetting at the start of each day. And it can be very, very strong. As we've seen today, I've spoken a lot about VWAP over the past sort of few days, it seems like, but it is very, very good. So we can see here, nice bounce there, nice bounce there, nice bounce there, nice bounce there. And then the reason I got into this sell position, which I did put in the private group, was because a retest of the VWAP after we broke through it with substantial volume. And also we had nice previous lows there as well. This chat's going, you guys are going crazy tonight. 200-point move on 115-minute bar. I mean, oil does sometimes go crazy. I don't trade oil. I don't really look at oil too much. I know there's a few people in the group who do. There's one person I know who only trades oil, which is pretty cool. Mobots. Aiming for like 500 pips. Peter, so in the group I do have a scalping strategy which I used to use a lot. I don't really use anymore, but the same sort of basis of it is still very strong, and it basically is finding an impulse move, finding consolidation, putting your fixed volume range over it, and then only entering buys below that value area. This means you're getting in with the trend, you're getting in a statistical anomaly, which is below the value area low. And so those two things paired together can give you a nice edge. And then also entering when it comes into an area of support, whether that be a Fibonacci level or something like that, in the value area low, can give you a really, really, really good edge. And then something which is important as well, Peter, is counting things in terms of pips normally isn't a very good idea, because you can make tons of pips, but you can still lose money. So calculating things in terms of R is definitely a lot better and a lot more accurate. Okay, when people, I see this happen a lot in the sort of trading group space, people count things in terms of pips, but pips really mean nothing. We're not in this to make pips, we're in this to make money. And R is a lot more objective way of calculating profitability. And what I mean by R is if you hit a 1 to 2 risk to reward trade. So what I mean by 1 to 2 risk to reward trade is, like, if you hit a trade like this, so this is your entry, this is your take profit, this is your stop loss. If you hit take profit, you would have gained 2R on the trade. Calculating things in terms of R is super, super objective, and it's really, really, really nice. So that's what I'd recommend, sort of calculating things in terms of. Alex, any advice regarding Asian session limit orders? Not done Asia session before. So Lewis, are you up for Asia session? Like, is your sort of life around Asia session? Are you going to be up trading it? Because if you're not up actively looking at the charts during Asia session, then I'd probably just stay away from it and use Asia session as a sort of insight into what you can expect for the rest of the day. So what I do when I get up in the morning, look at how Asia was, and that can give you a really good insight into how the rest of the day will go as well. So that's how I sort of utilize Asia. I very rarely set limit orders through Asia when I'm asleep, so I can't look at the trade. I don't really do that. Aussie. Should be. Peter, it massively depends on what type of trader you are. If you can hold trades for a long time, I wouldn't really have a set risk to reward on your trade. I think it's far better to, especially when scalping, especially when scalping, because if you get a really good entry, why limit your profits at a 1 to 2, 1 to 3, 1 to 4 risk to reward when you can close part of that position as you move up, and then let the trade ride? That scalp position can turn into a day trade, can turn into an intraday trade, can turn into a swing trade. And because you're scalping, chances are you've got a very, very tight stop loss. So you can really have catch some insane moves. So me personally, I wouldn't recommend using a set risk to reward and just taking all your profits off the table when it hits that risk to reward, because then you've got a floor on your losses, but you've also got a ceiling on your profit. I believe in floors on your losses. I think having a uniform risk management is very important, but having just a ceiling on your profits where your profits can't go beyond that point and not holding any runners, I think limits profitability in most cases. I use Broker's app or CTrader. Who asked that? Philip. MT4, I would heavily avoid. MT4 is terrible for risk management. It's just not very good. There's far better platforms out there now than MT4. MT5, when you're used to it, is fine to use, but I think there's a lot better platforms to use than those. Most people use those because most people use those, if that makes sense. Like, everyone sees the people using MetaTrader, so they think it's like the gold, like the best one, but there's far better platforms to use now, in my opinion. And a platform you should use is one that makes it easy for you to A, execute in your system, and B, use proper risk management. That is the most important one, obviously. Whereas, especially if you're new, using MetaTrader is difficult to manage risk on. It's difficult to see how much you're actually risking on each trade. And going into each trade, you should really know exactly the pound amount that you are risking on the trade. And we can go into why that's important if you like, but yeah. I didn't mute him, but yeah, I don't know what he was saying. This live is minimized while I trade gold. What's your opinion on gold right now? Where the Aussies here. Aussie has escaped the Discord. So right now, we've had a very large wick to the downside. I'd be very surprised if we don't come down here and take out the liquidity below this wick here and retest the VWAP, to be honest. I wouldn't trade in these conditions. It's too late on in the day. And the only really position you could take from here is a sell position, really. And unless something's looking very good in current market conditions, I would not be entering sells. Geordie baby. Yeah, MT4 just really isn't good. Katie. You might know those areas on your chart. Please explain. Like I'm a 5-year-old. All good trading, Charles. All good. So these two levels here. Wait, I'll get rid of. Actually, there's not much to sort of get rid of. So first off, the reason I marked up this level, let me just have a drink of water and then I'll go into exactly why I marked up both these levels. So, let me just move this over as well. So, the reason I marked up this level is, one, because of the value area low. Now, when you've got sideways price action, the value, you can put a fixed volume range profile, which is this thing on my chart here, okay? And this gives you 3 areas of significance. The value area high, the value area low, and the point of control. Now, a volume profile shows you volume at a specific price. So when you first go on to your chart, you'll normally see volume at the bottom. That shows you volume at a specific time, okay? But I want to know volume at a specific price. I want to know how many transactions took place at a specific price. If a lot of transactions took place, chances are that's going to be a stronger level. Why? The analogy that I normally give is it's like a very busy road versus a very quiet road. If you went across a road and there wasn't many cars, you can just walk along the road. It's perfectly fine, okay? You can just get straight across it. Okay, this is exactly like this. If we look here, there's not much volume in this area here. We can see volumes relatively low compared to these areas, this area. Volume's relatively low. And what did price do? You can see price just absolutely zoom through it, okay? Like, there's loads of examples of it just absolutely zooming through price. It's a quiet road. Price is just walking over it with no care in the world, okay? Now, if you come to a busy road where there's a lot of cars going back and forth, there's a lot of transactions, you try and cross that road, chances are you're going to get run over and hit back onto the side of the road that you came from, okay? It's difficult to cross that road. I think that makes sense. The roads, these high volume nodes where there's a lot of transactions, they're very busy roads. They're difficult to cross, difficult for price to cross because there's so many transactions. So that's a volume profile. Shows you volume at specific prices. And then, just move this off. And then volume profiles between the value area high and the value area low shows you 70% of volume, okay? It's like, for those who have done anything in economics, you'll know a bell curve. So a bell curve looks like this. Most of the volume comes in this area here. That's where most of the price action. So let's do this in terms of height, okay? Most people fit between, let's go for men, like 5'6" to 5'11", okay? Most men are between 5'6" and 5'11", okay? If someone is 5 foot, or if someone is 6'10", what are they? They're an outlier. They're an anomaly in the data, okay? And so if we take that to price, what we can see is when price goes, this should simulate the sort of bell curve as well. When price goes above the value area high or below the value area low, we can go back to this and we can see this is below the value area. This is above the value area. These are anomalies, okay? Now, if we go back to price, these are anomalies, okay? So if it's an anomaly for price to do that, then chances are price is going to revert to something that isn't an anomaly. It's going to revert to a state of mean where buyers and sellers are both happy, where the auction is happy. And so when we go above the value area, we anticipate us to fall back into the value area. When we go below the value area, we anticipate us to go back into the value area. And so by that logic, this value area low, from the point that we go into the value area low, it is an anomaly and we can anticipate price to make a move back into the value area. Let me know if that makes sense. That's the most complicated part of it. And then we'll go through the other two confluences I've got at that level. By the way, confluence, it just means multiple factors, basically. It's like the analogy that I give for this is, imagine there's a door, okay? You could probably run straight through that door if you tried, if you tried really hard. If I put multiple doors together, it's going to be a lot harder for you to run through that, okay? You've got confluence of the multiple doors. You've got confluence of the multiple areas of support. So let me know if that makes, weird time to join, but let me know if that makes sense to do with value area low and why it's strong. I think it's important to know the why as well. All good, Max, well explained. I appreciate that. Thank you, DB. Craig, I saw Craig say, oh, for fuck's sake, in the corner of my eye. Excuse the language. That's funny. Great explanation. I appreciate that. Okay, yeah, Connor. So confluence just means multiple factors. So, for example, okay, if you want to bring, I'll give another example. If you want to bring, if you're deciding whether to bring an umbrella outside, you're deciding whether to enter that trade or not, okay? You're deciding. Let's go into another decision. You're deciding whether or not to bring an umbrella outside, okay? You can look up at the sky and see if there's grey clouds. That's one thing. Are you going to just trust grey clouds? No, you want other things giving you confidence that you're going to need that umbrella. Then you can look at the weather app. And you can see, okay, it says it's going to rain. You not only got the grey clouds, but you've also got confluence of the fact that your weather app says it's going to rain. Okay, so you take the umbrella. You'd make the decision to take that umbrella. When we come down to this level, okay, if we just see one area of support, that's not enough for us to justify entering that trade. Just seeing the grey clouds is not enough for us to justify taking umbrella. However, if we see 2, 3, 4 things lining up at that area, we see grey clouds, weather app, cows lying down, I don't know, then that's confluence for us to take that umbrella. That's confluence for us to take the trade, okay? Let me know if that makes sense in terms of what confluence is. Honestly, Craig, that analogy was a bit out of the ordinary, I have to say. Master analogies. It's been good, Chris. How are you, mate? How's everything? That skiing video you sent, by the way, Chris, was insane. Like, insane. Yeah, exactly, Peter. That analogy was a bit off the cuff. Justine. Sometimes I do say an analogy, though, and then halfway through, I'm like, am I complicating this more than I should? Max, what the hell are you talking about? Why are you talking about cows lying down? What is that? So I hope that makes sense. So that's value area low. Okay, now let's go to the easiest one, which is daily open. The price at which the day opened, okay? Where the day opened at is a significant price. Everyone sees it. It's just a strong price where the day opened at. Okay, so that's a really really easy one. So where price opened at today is a strong level. You can go back through your chart and you can put on daily opens on your chart and see how they're respected. They are respected more times than not. They do have a small edge there. We want to stack things on top of each other, stack confluences, which gives us a small edge, okay? This might give us, you know, a 60% chance of working. That thing might give us a 70% chance of working. That thing might give us a 58% chance of working. If all of those things line up together, then it's going to have an 80, 90+% chance of working. I hope that makes sense. Andy, I remember you sending me that video of you in the rain. If you hear the thunder with that would be another confluence. Exactly, Alan. Exactly. That's perfect. Sky, I do like to enter multiple. Sometimes I enter one, but I do like to enter multiple positions just to average the entry out. Now, definitely be careful. If you are new and you don't know how to properly manage your risk, entering multiple trades and layering into the position can end up in you easily over risking on the trade, which is obviously not good. We do not want to over risk on the trades, so definitely be careful. I do like to layer into trades to try and get the best entry possible and try and average my entry down in a lot of instances, but that does not mean I over risk. I have a set amount of risk which I risk on each trade, and I always risk that amount. And also layering into the trades means I've got more fluidity there. I can be a bit more fluid with what I do, and so let's say, for example, if I'm layering into the trade and I think I need to increase my stop loss, I can increase my stop loss but not increase my overall risk on the trade. Because let's say I'm risking, let's take for example £70. Okay, if you risk £70 on a trade, if you're risking overall £100 on a trade and you're layering in and your overall risk is £70 on the trade, instead of entering more positions, you can increase your stop loss size, so you're risking that £100. It allows you to be a bit more fluid with the trade. Lady H, that was funny. For the day, so on a night for Asia. And I'm, yes, not quite risking £70. Hello, Gally. So, value area low, daily open, golden pocket. So, golden pocket is between the 0.618 level and the 0.65 level. So, it shows basically a 61.8% retracement in price. And again, this goes over to... I'm missing a few zeros. 71, yeah, that sounds more accurate. But going back over to bell curve, comes up quite a bit. Okay, if we imagine that this bell curve here shows the point at which price bounces when it's having a nice retracement. So if we go through and we plot every single time the price bounced at a level before continuing to the upside. So what I mean by this is, let me try and make this a bit easier. So this is an uptrend, okay? This is a bullish trend. We're making high highs and high lows. If we were to go back through price action and get all of the data on this, we would find that most of the time when price comes to a 61.8% retracement from the low to the high, okay? And this is a 61.8% retracement in price. Most of the time, okay, it's an anomaly for price to move beyond that point and continue up, okay? If we anticipate price to continue the trend, then we can anticipate it would be an anomaly. It would be an outlier in the data for price to go beyond that point, okay? So by extension, we can enter with confidence in that trade, because if it goes beyond that point, then it's either A, an anomaly, or B, our bias that it would continue in this direction is wrong. Okay, and most bounces happen around that level, so that's why it's a strong level. I hope that makes sense. And we can see here that price has gone from this low to this high here. If we anticipate price to make a higher high here, then it would be a statistical outlier. It would be an anomaly for price to go beyond this point. Okay, so that's what I mean. I hope that makes sense. And it sounds a bit more complicated than it is, but it's important to know the reasoning why. It gives you conviction in the trades. A lot of people in trading, especially, they'll say like, enter a trade and you won't know the reason why. It's like me asking you to run in a straight line without telling you why. If I tell you that there's people chasing you, then you're gonna find it easier to run in that straight line. You need to have conviction into the why behind the trades. I think that is important. You don't need to, but I think it's overall good to know. Max, would you have mine and Nathan's wedding in Dubai? 100%. We'll get the best wedding ever for you and Nathan. 100%. Anyone say the word anomaly so much in one night? Yeah, Craig. So golden pocket and value area. I think it's a good way to explain it. I explained it like it maybe like a month or two ago, and a lot of people said they liked that sort of they liked that reasoning, or that they liked knowing the reason behind it, and so I've sort of kept it up. Princess treatment. Hello, Nathan. Daily open is that last 24 hours. So start of Asia, mate. And then I do look at previous daily opens as well. So yeah, the daily open for that sort of midnight. And also Aussie. Then I got PTSD. Craig, I said that before. I said Aussie's here. He's escaped the Discord. Nathan. Can you pull the fib from 2 points to show the golden pocket on the latest uptrend? Yeah. So, by the way, we have... someone asked me before what I thought price were doing. We've come down and taken out this low. I did say we were coming for the VWAP, which is nice to see that that's played out. But so here, we've got a low. So I just pull the fib from this low here to this high up here. And yeah, this isn't the one that I pulled. I pulled this one back here from this low to this high because it lined up with the value area low. Now, when you're pulling fibs, chances are you'll get a lot of fibs everywhere, and that's why we want to look for Fibonacci retracements that line up with something. That's very important. By the way, guys, if you do have any questions, any trading questions at all, whether they're brand new, intermediate, advanced, whatever it may be, then let me know. And if you do want more information on the private group where you get signals of the exact trades being entered, analysis courses, full community, educators who are sending out signals analysis as well, full community, everything, it genuinely is the best place to learn and grow as a trader, then drop me a message, and on the YouTube description, there's a link, and we can get you involved. We have Ozzy Osbourne in the private group. We do have Ozzy Osbourne in the private group. That is, the funniest thing was when I put in the public group that we literally have world leaders. We did have Donald Trump in the private group. A version of Donald Trump, anyway. I was thinking back. Good, Adam. How are things with you? Adam's about to hit a huge milestone in his trading. So Adam's... support guy that we've got inside the group, he's absolutely crushing it, hopping on calls with members, really supporting members, doing absolutely amazing, and he's about to hit a huge milestone in his own personal trading as well, which is really, really, really cool. More in the last half hour than I have in the past 6 months. I appreciate that, Timothy. Sorry about your name. Got Jeremy. We do need to get Jeremy Clarkson. That would be funny. Jeremy Clarkson and Piers Morgan, and then we just pitch them against each other. Actually, the Discord would never be quiet then. They'd just keep on going at each other. Big up Adam, 100%. Man, every time I go into general chat, Aussie is a beauty. Overusing someone or arguing with someone is hilarious. I agree, Craig. I just did that to sort of test things, because you'll notice how when someone joins the group now, there's a little like welcome, and then we've got the ticketing thing as well, so you can put a ticket in. That's still will be in what we're working on that. But those like AI characters were like testing for future things we've got coming to the Discord to make the Discord just even easier to use, more simple, more flow, and just to make it even better and even more convenient and even more of a productive environment, and then also more fun as well. And then I was only going to do them for like one day, but then Ozzy pretty much went rogue. I'm going to be honest. I asked him like, should I turn you off? And then he started swearing at me and saying mean things. So I quickly decided to keep him on for the safety of the members, to be honest. Hello, Stephen. Would you like to see before entering a trade? Realistically, 3 minimum. It depends on the levels, though. If we've got anything that lines up with a naked point of control is a level which I'm looking at. Anything that lines up with value area high, value area low, I'm looking at. But most of the time, I want 3 minimum. 3 is very nice. Ozzy takes no prisoners. 100%. He is a ruthless man. Consistently improving that. We love that. 100%. 100%. Always room to improve. It definitely is. Look, there's loads of... there is so much room to improve, and so much things which we've got coming on to improve even more. Loads of little optimizations just to make that, the community even better, but then also that learning environment, that growing environment, just more fluid and just more organized and everything like that. And yeah, so... really cool stuff on the way. I do really like the ticketing system. I really like that. We've got an optimization to Adam's calls coming in as well, which will make it easier for you to book in calls and everything like that as well. And that's a really nice one. And that'll clear up the Discord a little bit as well. So that's really cool. And then we'll ask Ozzy if he's got any ideas as well. I think that's a good idea, actually. Ozzy, you've been in the group for a little time. What optimizations would you make? I'm not going to say what he'd respond, but it probably wouldn't be nice. Love that, Adam. 3 is the magic number. 100%. Tends to be as well, Neil, that if there's like 4, 5 areas of confluence, it's as if it's like too much and price wants to break it, because there's so much lining up there, so many orders that price just pushes through. 3 levels of 3 areas of confluence is really nice. If we have like 5, I'm a little bit hesitant. I'm like, this looks too good. Craig, I feel like that's going to be Adam's, most of Adam's calls now are just going to be like PTSD calls from being abused by Ozzy. I feel like we're going to see an influx in that. Hi Max, seeing you use Fibonacci retracement, do you ever use pivots as technical indicators, confirmations? Ald, I did use pivot maybe like 2 years ago now. I did use pivots, but I haven't used them in a long time now. I just didn't... Yeah, I didn't see them as that useful and adding that much more to the system. I've tried a lot of different things. I've tried loads, and that to me just didn't give... it just didn't work well for me. But pivots they can be very strong, okay, and they can work very well, definitely. Adam will be a therapist by the end of the year. By the end of the month. I agree with that. I thought you said by the end of the year. By the end of the month is probably more accurate. I'm on the front line out here. Adam needs some backup. How do we find value area low? I've searched trading view but can't find it. Sorry, I'm new to all this. All good trading trials. Thanks for the explanation on the chart. First time up, understood. Love that trading, Charles. So value area low it's not something specific on its own. It's part of something called a volume profile. So a volume profile just shows you the volume over a given period of price action. So for example, this is a volume profile for this area of price action. There's a few different indicators you can use to get up a volume profile. One of them is the session volume profile HD. So if you type in session volume profile, it comes with session volume profile HD. This shows you a volume profile for each day. So For example, we can whip it on here, and we can see that each day has a volume profile over it, okay? And if we zoom in on each volume profile, we'll go down here so it's a bit clearer. By the way, that sell level's given live, very nice. We can see that when price gets grayed out, that's the value area high. When price gets grayed out down here, that's the value area low, and that's the point of control, the black line there, okay? And up here, if we take this off, so that shows you a volume profile for every day, okay? And it's very, very good. Previous day, point of control, highest volume node, black line. Previous day, value area high, where the candles begin to be grayed out. Previous day, value area low, where candles begin to be grayed out at the bottom. These are strong levels the next day. But we can see here, that's the exact same as this volume profile I have here. But this volume profile isn't an indicator, it's a tool on TradingView. You can get this tool on TradingView by going to the left-hand side, the left-hand side of your chart, going to the 1, 2, 3, 4, fourth box down, and then go to volume based, and you can get fixed range volume profile. It looks a bit like, where is it? It's here. And you can drag this across price action and get your volume profile for that specific area of price. So you can basically have your volume profile wherever you want on the chart. Aussie's best quote ever. Out of everything I've lost, I miss my mind the most. That's a really good quote. I'm so close to the milestone. Yeah, Adam, it's going to be a massive celebration when you do hit that as well. I know you will, so looking forward to it. Definitely keep us updated with that. I'm looking forward to that. Ozzy has now gone rogue when I asked him how we could optimize the group. Oh no, Lady H have started it. He was nice for like an hour the other day. Like, he was quite nice. I changed the settings on him a little bit. And then without changing them back, he just went off on one again. Yeah, crazy guy. Got to go brilliant as usual. Appreciate that, Flint Speed. Take care, mate. Take care. Hope you're doing well. Seems similar to TradingView. Think better than MT4. Definitely better than MT4. Yeah, learned something. Although tomorrow I get funded by XE Prop Firm. Fortunately, it used MT4. MT4 is a bit of a pain. Well, I wish you the best, Philip, on that. Definitely keep us updated on that. You know, come on the live and let us know how it's going. Give us like a progress update. We're all interested to see your progress and wish you succeed. Is it possible to just trade point of control, value area low, value area high? I mean, possible, but I wouldn't do it. You want to see confluence there. You could, like a system which is similar to the scalping system, which I used to use, which I've got a course on in the group, completely free for members of the private group as well, is what you could do is impulse move to the upside. So impulse move. Then when we form a range, looking for buy positions in the value area low, and just using like very basic candlestick patterns or something like this, very, very basic, and just entering in the value area low, you could form a nice system off that, not using anything else, but you could just make it better by using other things. For example, here is again, impulse move, value area, buying below the value area low is very nice. Even here, this would have been a value area as well. Tends to be really nice. You could, but there's definitely better ways to do it. This is the side. Mark, so the reason it's in portrait is twofold. One is when looking at the data on YouTube, it seems like people watch for longer, and therefore, if people watch for longer, they're like enjoying it more, and so I should do more of that, if that makes sense. And so people watching longer in the portrait mode, and then also it gets more views because it comes up in the YouTube thing. So yeah, sort of twofold. From 6K walk with the mum. Nice XPR. Hope the mum's doing good. Let her know I said hi. All good, bro. Just learning so much the past few days. More so with Fib, as I was finding it hard where to pull them from. But today you showed me ideas to pull them from. Nice, Jordan. Really, really good. And then, Jordan, just keep dialing it in. Just keep going. It won't take you long. Maybe a few more days to really have Fibs dialed in. and yeah, but it seems like you're on the cusp there, mate. So really good. Treat you like a boss, but it's not as visible for most people. Yeah, completely agree with that. Location you're considering. Yes, Lee. So there'll be more information on that for not the end of this month, but towards the end of this month for the end of February. But it's definitely difficult to sort out. Venues, getting a nice one that isn't absolutely getting like a huge space in the middle of London. You'd be surprised how hard it is just to find anywhere, and then it's bloody expensive. So sorting all that out, and then a lot of planning needs to go into it to make sure everything's good. I want it to be very valuable for everyone as well. And so yeah, there'll be updates on that accordingly. Yeah, I forgot to mention Vumachu because I see it almost always bounces either on Vumachu underneath or top of it. Yeah, 100% Gustus. Agree with that. Do I win a prize for calling the top? Yeah, well done from me, Craig. Because that was insane. For those who didn't see, Craig called the exact top, which was, there's no other word to describe but straight up wizardry. I think everyone can agree. But yeah, absolute wizardry. That was nice, Craig. The bottom was very nice. Leeds, come to Bristol instead. UK tour. We'll get a tour bus and we'll just come take you out. Let's just go. And then when everyone's asleep, the tour bus goes onto a plane. The plane goes to Dubai, and everyone's in Dubai. That sounds brilliant. You're here now, guys. You might as well come to the trading floor. Might as well sort it. Scotland's a bit out of the way. Yeah. Cheers, Aaron. Take care, mate. Yeah, all. We're in beast mode today. Definitely, Craig. Got to love Trump. Yeah, oh my. Trump is really... I feel bad for the Fed right now. The Federal Reserve in America is being, especially Jerome, is being hammered by Trump at the moment. It's quite interesting. So still definitely bullish on gold in terms of what's going on there, in terms of policies which are looking to come in, not even policies, but in terms of Jerome being kicked out of his job in favor of someone more favorable. I think that's the biggest thing right now. So I'm very intrigued with how that's going to go on. I find that whole situation absolutely hilarious. I did do a rundown of was it yesterday? It was yesterday, wasn't it? Yesterday, the Detroit Economic Club, I did a rundown of Trump's speech from there and some interesting things we could gather from that. I did that in the private group. If you missed that in the private group, you can scroll up and see sort of what was going on there. I basically got the key points. His speech was like an hour long, and so I went through and got like the key points from that and just put them in the private group for you guys to see. Yeah, Jordan, I'll zoom to the 30-minute. We'll remove this here. This level has already been hit. What I'll do is I'll make this a lot smaller. There we go. And actually, there we go. That's better. Trading full party sounds like a plan. I was actually speaking to private funding service we had in the group today. We're going to be getting a few more members out very, very soon. We're literally like organising it right now. So with that, towards the end of last year, it felt like we were getting a member out every 2 weeks, and we pretty much did. So there, basically, we fly a member out to Dubai, all expenses paid, and yeah, you come to the trading floor, and we spend like a full day at the trading floor, which is really, really good. And then we'll also go for food and stuff, introduce you to a few cool people as well, and just have a good chat there, and then also show you around Dubai and hopefully motivate you to really take what you learn on the trip, and when you get back, really, really lock in. So that's something we're doing even more of as well this year. So yeah, that's speaking of, yeah. Not directly, like when news comes out, I won't directly see news come out and then trade it like that. But I will see news after the fact, and once news has cooled down, then definitely using that information to come up with, to strengthen bias is important. But I won't like see news come out and instantly enter a trade because news says this. Like, I'm not going to do that. How about 1,000 of us out? 1,000 might be a bit tough. 1,000 might be a push. I have to say. See what you are doing. Going for buys with these indicators are actual a life hack. I will use this absolutely. Nice, Gustus. Really nice. Keep us updated with how it goes as well. Maybe Mohammed. I don't know. In reality, I think a great way to look at trading is, and great way to look at price. No one knows where price is going to go, especially over the next hour. The hour lower time frames have so much noise and so much other factors and little things. Over a long enough period of time with a good bias and good fundamental knowledge, you can sort of see where price is going to head. But on a short term, within the next hour, no one knows. What we do is you find an edge in the markets and you leverage that edge over time to be consistently profitable. So when price comes to a level, which I've marked up, an area of confluence, I look if I want to enter the trade or not, and enter the trade. More times than not, it goes my way, and then profit over time. Exactly, the ghost call. Exactly. Hi, Matt. How's things? Good, Kyle. How are you? Alan, funny. Nice try. I live in Dubai and Alan's been here more time than me. Him and Lady H, they're here every other week. Best friends with Emirates. But yeah, Alan was here in, I don't know how long ago it was now, maybe like 2 months ago. Alan and Lady H were here in Dubai, went for some nice food with them. Alan came onto the live, which was really, really good as well. Absolutely amazing on the live, by the way. Really, really, really amazing. Got some great feedback from that. Absolutely, yeah, amazing, Alan. Yeah. Raj, so what I'll do is I'll come down to my execution timeframes, 1 minute, 3 minute, 5 minute. I don't care about TP. I don't use a set TP. I don't like having a ceiling on my profits. I like trailing my my stop loss up, moving it under previous market structure, and just moving my stop loss up slowly, trying to squeeze the most out of the move. So I don't use a take profit, if that makes sense. And then as far as stop loss, I'll look to the left-hand side of my chart, look for some previous market structure, some previous lows, look where my trade idea becomes invalidated. And so probably around this level here. This level here, we've got these two lows here, we've got this low here, these lows here. If we do break this golden pocket and point of control and we come all the way down here, then I probably do want to be out of this trade as my trade idea was invalidated. So yeah. Oh, the Alan, yeah, exactly, Craig. I remember, cool guy. Yeah, amazing, really, really nice. And, you know, outside of the live as well, we had a really nice meal, and just super nice, super nice. Unless you're me and get perfect entry and get taken out of break with 0 partials. Yeah, XVR, yeah. I mean, look, it's better than losing money, that is. So I suppose that's the silver lining. But I'm going to have to get it on my screen. Gustus, this is called Vu Manchu. So if you go into the indicators section, you type in Vu Manchu. It's Vu Manchu, cipher B plus divergences. And I'll bring up the settings here, mate, so you can go back on this live and see the settings I use. I basically just remove a bunch of stuff which I don't use. And so I'll slowly scroll down here. But yeah, this is Vu Manchu. It's got momentum, that's the blue waves. VWAP, that's the yellow wave. And then the red and green wave, that's money flow. And this oscillates, all three of them oscillate above and below 0. That is unfortunate, XPR. Well, it is the one to put to bed. Thanks for the insight. All good, Stephen. Take care. Have a great night, mate. Yeah, nice. So I'm just going to scroll down here. these quickly. And Gustus, you can send. I'll send you like a screen recording if you want. Just message me on Telegram. I'll send you through like a screen recording quickly of the settings which I've got. If you missed them on here. Small shirt TY. Okay, let's move these down. And then, guys, we'll be finishing up the live shortly. If you did enjoy the live, double tapping the screen does help spread the live about and things like that. And if you do want any more information on the private group, then clicking the link in the YouTube description takes you to the Telegram. And you can personally message me on there. I'll happily answer any questions, and we can run you through everything you need to know about the private group. And, you know, regardless of experience level, whether you're extremely experienced, I think it's a brilliant group. I do think, like, most groups out there, vast majority, are not good for people who are actually very experienced traders. They're not going to really learn anything, and chances are they're just going to build up bad habits. I do feel a significant advantage we have in this group is not only is it, you know, for beginners, we've got a full support team in there, full community, everything like that. So it's perfect for beginners, but then also people who are more advanced, who have had traded for a while, perfect for you as well, because there are other levels that we can sort of take you to, and then also it's a great place to network and talk to other high level traders as well. You know, when I was sort of coming up in trading, I really wish I had somewhere I could talk and communicate with other traders, but the best I could find was like these kind of crappy crypto communities where everyone was trying to scam you and get you to get involved in their pump and dump schemes every day. So yeah. The best group in the space and no other compares. I agree with that, Craig, and we're just getting started. Something which you'll definitely notice is with this group, we will always be changing, always be evolving. There will never be a point where we get to like a point and we're like, yeah, you know, the group looks good here, we'll just keep it here. No, always getting better, always getting better, and that means that, you know, in the future, just imagine where it's going to be. I mean, just in 1 year, I think 1 year is not a very long amount of time, not a very big amount of time. We've gained, you know, thousands of members, amazing educators, an unbelievable community, loads of resources. We've had traders go full time, everything like that. I mean, it's been incredible, and that's just in under a year, which is incredible. Think of where we'll be in another year's time, insane, especially with the more optimized we can get. Really cool. Anyway, guys, I think we'll Craig, I can never forget you. Craig's the man. I did message Craig earlier, but if you, and also I'm gonna start, actually I think I might start putting when people ask what's in the group, we've got this, and we've also got Craig. They'll be like, what's Craig? Huh. Mate, you don't know what Craig is? Come on now. That's ridiculous. Okay, Yusuf. Okay, listen here. Calm down with your kebabs, okay? And with Yusuf, the kebab lover. Ginger, I am seriously hurt. That came out of nowhere. I didn't expect that. I'm a bit... Someone commented on my Instagram the other day saying, Max, you look ginger from that angle. I was like, what? Where did that come from? No offense to gingers, but I'm not ginger. Yeah, and Alex FXG, we've that hit him as well. Max, awesome live. I appreciate that, Jason. Strawberry blonde. Appreciate that, DB. Look, from a couple angles, maybe. And if I do look ginger, I'll just adjust this lighting so it's pure white, so it doesn't. But yeah, anyway, guys, we'll finish it up there. Hope everyone enjoyed the live. I think it's been a really good one tonight. I've really enjoyed, all the questions and everyone just participating. It's been really, really good. So hope everyone enjoyed it. Hope you got some value out of it. Hope you had a bit of a laugh along the way as well. If you do have any questions, more like after the live, you just want to chat, you can find the link on my YouTube description. Drop me a message and I'll personally respond. And yeah, have a great rest of your night, guys. Take care, and I'll speak to you all on the next one. See you in a bit, guys. See you in a bit, Justine. See you in a bit, Chris. See you in a bit, Robert. See you in a bit, Heath. See you in a bit, Ant. See you in a bit, Like Always. Andy, Craig, Yusuf. I'm not forgiving you over the ginger comment. Craig, Andy, DB, Gustus. Take care, guys. Have a great rest of your night, and I'll see you all in a bit.